Quote, we know it's a man because the poos are too massive to be from a woman.
It's got piss on it. Oh, somebody dropped it.
Such a mom.
Such a mom.
Such a mom.
Such a mom. Do we have a motive that's been released or no?
Well,
I want to know, like, the tea. Why are we killing Grampy?
We're getting to it.
This certainly wasn't the worst thing I've ever done, but that's not the assignment.
I'm just out here with a hole in my foot trying to get by, okay? So can we just use words I'll understand? Thanks. That'd be great. Viewer discretion is advised.
Hello and welcome to Gossip at the Corpse Card. Yes. We have...
It's the card with the most corpses.
Ew, you can't sit with us because we're full of corpses.
Full.
Covered in corpse
Yes.
vomit.
Yeah.
Ooh,
Anyway,
yum.
enjoy your breakfast, everybody.
Well, if this is your first time joining us, which it probably isn't, this is where Amanda and I, and maybe a special guest, go through all the shit you've probably seen in your news feed, like, I don't know.
And then sent us.
Popular obits or funny headlines or the worst thing you've ever done, which I would hope isn't in your news feed. But maybe it is. Maybe you broadcast that shit. I'm Lucy.
I'm Amanda. And who do we have joining us today?
I'm Scott. Scott Artley.
It's Scartley.
We've missed you.
Our baby angel.
I actually haven't seen all of us in person in quite a while.
No. We haven't been in the same room together since your baby shower, Lucy.
Oh, you're right.
Oh, God.
Yeah.
That was a while
It's
ago.
been like 6 months. 5 months.
I mean, it's a testament to how wonderful it
4
is you can
months.
feel close to people in this modern day and age. And also, I want to smell your farts.
Yeah.
Yeah. You have to see my baby.
Oh, yeah, that too.
That too.
I like your farts,
Smell
though.
her farts.
I'll take that too. It's like
We're
it's half your
fartastic down here.
it's half your DNA of farts.
Yeah, but beautiful medley. Anyway, I
hate
am
this.
very excited for Scott to be here. Oh, I've been waiting so long for you to be back on our back
feels
as a
so
gift.
good. It feels so right. Like a warm hug.
I have a quick story that has nothing to do with anything we've talked about thus far, but Amanda and I were on the phone with each other a little bit ago, and she said, "Son of a bitch." And it reminded me of a really funny story that I don't think I've told you that I just want to tell you.
I don't remember saying that at all, but it does sound exactly like me. Continue.
So probably a year ago or so, I was at Hy-Vee with my friend Ben because he doesn't like to go grocery shopping by himself. So we went together, and we're walking in, and there's this older man getting a bunch of cans out of the back of his car for the redemption.
Yep. Which we don't do in Minnesota. We should.
I was like, what's the redemption? Is this
They
like
did it
the
in upstate
apocalypse?
New York.
I didn't know what this was either before I moved to Iowa, but you get 5 cents per can you redeem in these redemption machines at
They have the machines
grocery
in
stores.
Iowa too.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, all the Wegmans in Rochester had these where you'd come and you'd bring your bag of cans, and before you go in, you put them in and it tallies them up, and then you get like a little voucher.
Like a little lottery receipt, and then you go
and you can either get it
cash it
cashed
in.
out or just have it applied to your groceries. It's super clever. I love it. I wish we did it here.
Does it actually help the environment though?
I mean, I don't know. I think it just
Can't hurt.
encourages recycling
It might
more
hurt.
than...
I'm pretty sure it does because it goes to an aluminum recycling, and there are certain types of cans that aren't redeemable.
Yeah, like it won't accept certain things, so it kind of makes it less likely to be contaminated. Like our bins here in Minnesota, we just throw whatever the fuck in there, and then they have to be sorted at their facility. But
But if there's a nickel's worth of, motivation to go actually put this can in this machine, otherwise it'll spit it out if it's not the right can. So I would say that it's more helpful than just curbside recycling.
It
But
raises
anyway.
awareness and lets you buy more bologna.
Yep.
And efficacy.
Yep.
But
I
anyway, we're walking into Hy-Vee. We see this man like loading up cans, and a bag falls out of his car, and like cans go everywhere. It's also a really windy day.
Oh no. Oh, my nightmare.
And so like I feel bad for this guy, but he just
But I just laugh at him and then walk away.
Well, we're on the other side of the parking lot. We just hear him go, "Son of a bitch!"
Just so loud.
So loud, and such an emphasis on bitch.
Son of a bitch.
And the cans are rolling every which way, and he's like,
This is why you always crush the cans.
Always crush the cans.
But
I had an ex who was like, Scott, why do I have to crush the cans? You always tell me I have to crush the cans. This is why, because when there's a wind and it falls and it all goes out, they're gonna roll
also,
everywhere.
it just preserves space in your recycling bin. You want to empty the recycling bin twice as often from your kitchen in this economy? No.
In this bout of arthritis?
There might be can crushing protocol with the recycling. I'm not sure. I can't say that with authority, but it might be.
You can say anything with authority. You just might not be right.
Anyway, so the last time he said, "Son of a bitch," I was like, "Son of a bitch."
I'm glad I could take you back to the moment of the man with the angry cans.
So
I love that.
Every now and then, Ben and I just scream that, and it feels really good.
It's freeing.
It is really freeing. And on that note, Amanda, do you want to start us out with some funny headlines?
I really do. I really do.
Take us away, Jesus.
I can confidently say there is not a theme.
Okay.
This is just, the theme is, did I like this? Yes. Okay. It's in.
A fair curatorial impulse. It feels right.
Yeah. I know exactly
response.
what that sentence meant that you just said. So everything.
I got a degree in literature.
Mercurial?
Mercurial, yes.
I want to play a theremin.
I thought I got a degree in something like that, but it's not.
Guys,
I
I'm
think I
just
paid
out
mine
here
more for mine, so I'm allowed to bring it up more often. It's what we're allowed.
I'm just out here with a hole in my foot trying to get by. Okay. So can we just use words I'll understand? Thanks. That'd be great.
I got my diploma and a hole in my foot.
I have no diploma and a hole in my foot, ma'am.
Your high school
I have a high school
diploma.
diploma. I have a high school diploma. I do not have a college. Are they even called
Just go
diplomas
with
or
it.
degrees? I don't know. It's fine. I'm over it. Okay. Did I forward this article to our lawyer? Shout out to Julian. Yes, I did, because I like to
What did we
offer.
do now?
We didn't do anything. I like to offer ideas, suggestions, recommendations wherever I can be helpful. So I read this and I thought, wow.
Was this a billable email? Because
That's a good question.
oh my God, if he charged us for sending him this article.
You're going to be really mad when you hear this headline too if we get charged for it.
$100 an hour. Oh my God.
No.
It's fine. It's
worth
fine.
it.
It's worth it. So the article is from USA Today, and the headline reads, "Attorney suspended for pooping in a Pringles can and leaving it in victim advocate's parking lot."
Why Pringles?
Pringles do have the best can to shit in.
Yeah. You're not going to get
a bag
overflow.
sounds better in general, I'm going to say.
I disagree because
I'd
maybe
shit
a
into a
large
Pringles
chip
can.
bag, but I like the stability of the can so that you're not accidentally crinkling the bag too much and
you don't drop. Yeah,
getting
a corner
It
doesn't
slides down
fall
over
out.
your hand.
Yeah, you could feasibly place this in a secure location and just squat and kind of sit on
into it. Yeah.
and
I'm
shit
gonna
right
need
into
an
it.
illustration or a demonstration right now because I'm just like not able to picture that.
You also know, gross. You also know exactly where the mouth of the can is versus
Exactly where the mouth
the
is.
ambiguous parameters
Bag
of
mouth.
a bag.
If you've
mouth.
ever pooped into the mouth of a like ovular man with a weird mustache, this is right up your alley.
This is old news. This
Who
is just
hasn't
a
done
casual
that?
Is this the
Tuesday.
Pringles man or a
My whole life has led up to this moment.
Truly. We've trained our whole lives for this.
My whole life.
Your whole life.
Sick.
So this says the Ohio Supreme Court suspended an attorney. Of course, it's Ohio, by the way. Of fucking course. Suspended an attorney who defecated into a Pringles potato chip can and then tossed it into a parking lot of a crime victim advocacy center, sir.
This hardly
No.
seems targeted, honestly.
I
You
think
pooped into a
that's-
can, shut the can, and then tossed it into the parking lot. It could have been anyone.
I don't know if the can was closed, but
Well,
we'll
but
find
if it's
out.
an advocate organization, so that sounds like it's targeted. Yeah, topic wise.
Mhm.
I still think
Criminal
it could have been
defense
anyone.
attorney Jack A. Blakesley conducted Blakesley's conduct called into question his fitness to practice law. The court decided.
They
Yeah,
were really impressed by his aim.
Blakesley's
Yeah.
defense? Question mark. He said he didn't target anyone, but had a habit of putting his feces in Pringles cans and randomly throwing them from his car.
See, that's what I'm saying.
He claimed he
Normal.
pulled the Pringles prank at least 10 times that year.
Show
I
me the
cannot believe-
receipts of the Pringles.
Show me the Pringles prank receipts. But the court didn't buy it and said Blakesley purposely chose the Haven of Hope in Cambridge, Ohio as his, quote, drop zone.
Drop
Surveillance.
zone.
That's a
Surveillance-
sign I'm adding to my. I almost said my toilet room. The room where I keep my
Bathroom?
toilet. That's I'm going to put drop zone.
Now
I wonder if
entering the
they're-
drop zone.
I wonder if there are any Pokemon in the drop zone.
There probably are. Surveillance video captured the incident in November of 2021. So this is an older incident. Blakesley had known the victim advocates at the center for years and was scheduled to see them in court 15 minutes after the Pringles deposit. Yeah, that's sus. At the time, Blakesley was representing someone accused in a capital murder case. The court decided to suspend Blakesley from the practice of law for 1 year, with 6 months of that suspension stayed. That seems like a slap on the wrist. You get 6 months off and you just like can't shit in a Pringles can and throw it in the parking lot anymore. Like, there's no justice.
Is he
It's
getting
ridiculous.
paid?
That I don't know. It didn't say what kind of suspension, paid or unpaid.
Because they can't. I guess they can't force an unpaid one. But that's still. I'm sure it's like, well, here's our insurance for this 6 months.
Yeah,
Pooping in a Pringles can is its own reward.
I guess.
That's true. That's true.
Blakesley has been an attorney since 1976, and he had no prior disciplinary action against him. In determining what punishment to mete out, M-E-T-E, meet,
Meat.
I've never seen or heard of this word before.
Meeting and eking are sort of similar.
Interesting. To
Metal.
push, to pinch
also,
off.
METTLE means like your courage.
I'm changing this. In determining what punishment to pinch off, the court
Telephone
relied
corner.
on a
I'm
previous
changing
ruling
this.
involving the naked photographer, an Ohio House GOP caucus attorney who photographed more than 30 women as he flashed them. Imagine that being like the case precedent to how we punish you.
Oh, my
Like, we don't have
God.
any other Pringles can poopers, but we could pull from the naked photographer case and apply that punishment to you.
This is why law school exists.
I
Just for
hate
this
it.
reason.
font of precedence.
This guy, this is ridiculous. Steve Lennon, the naked photographer, was indefinitely suspended in 2006 for that conduct, and he pleaded guilty to 53 misdemeanor offenses, flashing 53 times and taking photos. But he got his law license restored in 2014. There are no fucking actual consequences for behavior like this. This shit pisses me off.
That
Yeah, that's
53,
ridiculous.
that should compound.
Yep. Yeah. The court also relied on punishment in the case of Scott Blueville, a Butler County attorney with a history of public indecency. Blueville was indefinitely suspended in 2022. I hate it. So,
Yeah.
Julian, that was a freebie. Please don't bill us for that email. Okay.
I really want Pringles now, though. So there's that.
I always
I got
want
Lay's.
Pringles.
The new sponsor.
Ugh.
Ooh.
I got a
You're
bowl of Lay's. Bowl of Lay's.
Next,
Not to be confused with bolognese.
Bolognese. Although, yum.
Yum.
Like, that'd be a good
Fucking
dip.
yum.
That'd be a
Oh.
good dip. So for my next headline, I really just picked this because you know I can never pass up an opportunity to praise a hog. I
That's
love
true.
a cute hog name.
Mm-hmm.
Those are true facts about you right there.
2 true facts. So this is from the New York Post, that absolute bastion of journalism. Escaped pig named Albert Einswine leads New Jersey police on wild chase for quarter mile. Quote, faster than they look.
You had me at Einswine.
Albert Einstein
Quarter
photos are on the
mile.
drive / will be on the blog, so you can
what?
take a
Oh
look
my
at this
God.
big hag.
Oh, I gotta look at those.
Big boy.
Oh,
Big boy.
big.
Yeah. A pig named Albert Einswine escaped from a New Jersey farm and led cops on a wild chase before they were able to apprehend the pesky porker. The slippery hag got loose from a local pig farm in Deptford Township on Tuesday and evaded arrest as long as he could. Video posted online by the Deptford Township Police Department shows officers trying in vain to lasso Albert Einswine. Each time they got close, the pig squeals and runs away as an officer filming laughs.
Oh, I love him.
This
I love him.
fucking
too.
ACAB, this pig just wasting cop
Yep.
time is my favorite thing ever.
Yeah. How
Keep
much
'em-
did this cost the taxpayers?
I mean, frankly,
Thousands.
worth it. Keep them running,
A few
pig.
sides of bacon.
Just a pig running some pigs.
I like
Quote-
the picture of the cop just kind of standing akimbo looking at the pig.
Yeah, like now what the fuck do I do?
That's a pig right there.
That's
about as
big.
I gotta do some paperwork about it.
It's about as close as I can get before this hag's gonna haul off. Quote, we're all
there's
friends
another
here.
picture too.
Yeah.
There's two.
Yeah, you got to get a couple angles of Albert Einswine.
Yeah.
We're all friends here, the cop tries to tell the animal.
Dr. Doodle.
You don't want to do this, Albert. You don't want to do this. Calm down.
Yeah. Oh my God.
Think of your family.
Hooves in the air. Think of your family, man. It's not worth it. Quote, the video doesn't show the whole thing. We had to chase the pig for a quarter mile. They're faster than they look, said Detective Sergeant Bob Jones. He got pretty far for what it was. I don't know where he was going to go. God bless him. But he was apprehended and safely returned. The pig is 4 years old. They took about 30 minutes to capture him. Quote, cops chasing a pig is never not funny, Jones joked. He was accurate.
That's
Universal
low-hanging
truth.
fruit.
Low
This is
hanging
just a
fruit.
publicity stunt.
Truly.
Oh yeah, that kind of sounds like it, honestly.
Quote, he wasn't listening. He didn't listen to our commands at all.
He wasn't listening.
Everything
Come
we
when I called him.
everything we learned.
hooves.
Show your
Ram you. Wait.
Wait, wrong animal. Everything we learned in the academy went right out the window. Once we got a leash on it, he kind of calmed down and the scene became secure.
Oh,
So they brought
Okay.
I guess they brought the pig to the police station and then the farmer came and picked him up at the,
Oh my God.
at the
stop.
police station.
Mom, I'm at the mall. Can you come pick me up?
Yeah, seriously. Oh my God.
Imagine
God bless
being-
you.
Imagine being like someone pulled over for like a DUI or something at the police station and just seeing them walk in with a pig
Sharing a cell with a huge hog.
in the drunk tank.
A massive fucking hog.
They're both crying, being like, my childhood was hard too. I'm a broken piglet too.
Oh,
I didn't know my father either.
Babies. I
Shared
wish them
pig
all
trauma.
the best.
To market, to market.
So much shared pig trauma.
This little piggy needs more therapy.
This is accurate. Why is this
Little
so
piggy
accurate?
has trauma too.
Oh my God. Sorry.
It's
my
me at the
burps.
bar, honestly. Like, yeah, I know.
Wee.
Wee. That's the water sports night.
Oh my
All
God.
right.
Okay. Next up.
Holy shit. Oh God, I miss you.
I don't know who this hero is, but I would love to shake their hand. And I also want to note that Bill has a drone. So I think he needs to start doing this around Minneapolis. And there are a lot of great photos
Turkeys.
that you can take a peek at. Nope.
Oh.
Nope. Okay. This is from The Lost Ogle. from January of this year. It's like a little local publication out of, I want to say Kansas? Oklahoma.
Like the Lost
Oklahoma.
Entertainment section?
Kinda, but not. I wish it was that. Bring that back. All right, the headline reads, Mystery Drone Pilot Tags Moore, Moore, with giant rainbow dildos.
Oh.
And Moore is the Oklahoma hometown of Toby Keith. Rest in not peace. That guy sucked, but whatever.
I love this dildo.
Yeah.
Didn't know
It looks
enough about
3D
him.
printed.
Are there pictures?
Maybe? Yeah. Oh, yeah. They're on that folder I sent you. And they'll be on the blog.
Oh, my.
Here we go. Thanks to a tip via the Ogle Mole Network, we've learned that a mysterious drone pilot has gone on a devious rampage in the OKC suburb of Moore using super gripped suction cups to slap massive rainbow dildos around various G-spots in the community.
Those are cute.
This
So
is the Lord's
cute.
work. This is
Yeah.
the Lord's work. This is what he put us on earth to do, to solve the world by putting giant 3D printed dildos on things.
Correct.
And suction
At
cups.
least this is what drones were invented for.
Oh, this
Yeah.
is absolutely
Mhm.
what drones
Final
are invented
form.
for.
Yeah.
So far, it appears the primary targets of this devious attack include the local Walmart and the intersection of 119th and Western. We currently have a team rushing to the Toby Keith water tower to see if it's been spared.
Is this related to Toby Keith, his death? Like, was this one
No.
of those, like,
A
and
memorial.
another thing?
The only way it's related to Toby Keith is that this is happening in his hometown in Oklahoma.
But did he, like, just die? This feels targeted.
I
No
don't.
more than
like
the
it.
Pringles can.
Yeah, I mean, I don't mind if
Point
people are
exactly.
targeting Toby Keith.
Yeah,
Like,
take it.
there you go. The photos provided, I also put on, the drive / the blog for y'all to appreciate. As far as the recent update goes, they said the Toby Keith water tower appears unscathed, but there was another water tower that was tagged with a cute little peepee at the top. I don't think I uploaded that, so I'm plopping that in the drive right now for you.
Cute
See if you
little
can
teepee.
find this little itty bitty baby. But my favorite photo is like the elder Walmart greeter in the neon vest being hoisted up on a lift to pull that dong off of the
Well,
Walmart
let me
side.
grab that.
Oh, the one on the water tower.
Yeah, just a little buddy, just a little
Big
guy.
water tower.
The sneak attack has caught the city with its pants down, with shy and embarrassed city officials scrambling the More Purity Brigade to remove and confiscate the dildos from city property for research purposes. Walmart, on the other hand, put a greeter on a scissor lift to remove
It really
the
is
pleasure
a
tool.
greeter.
It is a greeter. I mean,
Oh my
look at them.
god.
They're definitely a greeter.
Well, a high vis vest is not a greeter make necessarily.
Maybe not.
There's multiple factors here.
Yeah.
Although we're usually the Metro's go-to authority on all things involving dildos and sex toys, I have no clue what's going on here. I checked with my moles at Patricia's to see if it's part of some guerrilla marketing campaign for a new location. I think that's a pleasure store, Patricia's. But they had no comment.
Patricia's.
Patricia's Pleasures. Pleasures. I've also confirmed that it's not part of some tactic by Rainbow Bistro to shame the more LGBTQ community for not supporting the eatery. Right now, the only thing we know is there's some person flying a drone around Moore, using suction cups to secure gigantic, colorful dildos on things. What a great time to be alive.
Truly. The Lord's work.
Love it. And I hope that Walmart greeter got a raise.
I hope we got to take that home.
That should be part of the perk. If you pull
Finders
it off the
keepers.
side, yeah, if you pull it off, you get to keep it. Okay.
Mhm.
Mm-hmm.
All right. I have a couple more here for you. This one's not a funny headline, but it is an iconic moment befitting of an iconic woman who deserves to be celebrated. And also, this has been all over my TikTok. So, yeah. This is from CNN and just came out yesterday. So this is actually the 19th as the crow flies. So this is an actually recent news article. Archdiocese of New York condemns the funeral of a trans activist at St. Patrick's Cathedral. Boo.
Boo. Boo.
Boo. The Roman Catholic Archdiocese of New York condemned the funeral of a trans activist that was held last week in St. Patrick's Cathedral, expressing outrage over what it called scandalous behavior. Now, I have seen so many incredible videos on TikTok from this beautiful gathering. It was truly iconic and epic. And even the it's not a minister, I don't fucking know, priest, whoever who did conduct the funeral service had to remark at how like the room had never been that packed and like the
like
history of this fucking
Sister
church.
Act.
Yes.
Yeah, that's exactly what I was thinking of.
It was very, very akin to that. More than 1,000 people filled the pews of the revered New York Cathedral on February 15th to honor the legendary trans activist Cecilia Gentili, who died on February 6th at the age of 52. Or it might be Gentili. I'm hoping I'm pronouncing that correctly. I'm doing my best. Gentili was a pillar of the New York trans community, as well as a fierce advocate for sex workers and people with HIV/AIDS. Though she grew up attending Catholic services in her home country of Argentina, she was also an avowed atheist, which I fucking love. Friends and family members of Gentili characterized last week's service as iconic and historic, with funeral organizers saying they believe Gentili was the first trans person to have a funeral at the cathedral. Mourners showed up in feathery red dresses, fishnet stockings, and lace veils, and the community prayed for God to protect trans people with healthcare and housing. And one eulogy, Gentili, a former sex worker, was remembered as Saint Cecilia, mother of all whores.
Ooh.
Which it gives me chills. I fucking love her. But after videos from the funeral and news reports from CNN and other outlets began circulating online, some prominent Catholics and conservative groups, responded with backlash. A senior leader at St. Patrick's Cathedral, the seat of the Archdiocese of New York, said after the fact that it was deceived into hosting the service.
All right.
CNN reached out to the Archdiocese of New York on Friday for comment before it publicly condemned the funeral, but did not receive a response. Quote, the cathedral only knew that family and friends were requesting a funeral mass for a Catholic and had no idea our welcome and prayer would be degraded in such a sacrilegious and deceptive way.
Our
She was
universal love is
technically-
contingent.
Yeah.
She was technically a Catholic, so
Yep.
give it a rest.
That such a scandal occurred at America's parish church makes it worse. That it took place as Lent was beginning. The annual 40-day struggle with the forces of sin and darkness is a potent reminder of how much we need prayer, reparation, repentance, grace, and mercy.
but not
To which this-
reparations.
No, of course not. To which this holy season invites us.
This pearl clutching is more than any drag queen I've ever seen.
Straight up.
Accumulation of drag queen pearl clutching, literal. Nothing
Hated
compared to
it.
that.
No one does it like the Catholic Church.
Mm-hmm. Funeral organizers told CNN that they chose to honor Gentili at St. Patrick's Cathedral because they felt its grandeur was a fitting tribute to her legacy. Agreed. She was remembered at her funeral for championing the most marginalized peoples in society. Kyan Doroshow, one of the organizers, said in an interview with the Washington Post that she told the cathedral that Gentili was a sex worker advocate, an icon, and an activist, and encouraged them to look her up. She added that the house of worship did not ask about her gender identity or sexuality and that she did not proactively disclose it to them. Doy. She said, quote, if a cisgender person's family organizes their funeral, does their family tell the church they were cis? If not, why is that being asked of us?
Mm-hmm.
Good fucking question. Gentili's family also sharply criticized the Archdiocese response, characterizing her funeral as a historic defiance of the church's hypocrisy and anti-trans hatred. Indeed. Quote, we bestow sainthood upon Cecilia for her life's work, for how she ministered, mothered, and loved all people regardless of HIV, immigration, or employment status. Her heart and hands reached those the sanctimonious church continues to belittle, oppress, and chastise, and she changed the material conditions for countless people, including unhoused people and those who needed health care. The statement continued to say, quote, the only deception present at St. Patrick's Cathedral is that it claims to be a welcoming place for all.
Nice.
Fucking mic drop.
Yes. Oh, wow.
Despite the outrage from the archdiocese and some Catholics, other worshippers didn't seem to take issue with Gentili's service. Michael Horlin, a lawyer from Ireland who attended Sunday services at the cathedral, told the New York Post that, quote, Jesus welcomed everybody. He didn't say if you're one thing or another, you're outside the tent. Apparently there was like a small faction of Catholics that are demanding an exorcism of the church.
Me, I'll do it. I'll do it.
We'll put you up as a recommendation.
Mm-hmm.
But I really hope that Cecilia rests peacefully. It sounds like she had an immeasurable impact on her community and that the world is less bright without her. But I gotta say, I love, if you're gonna go out flipping off the fucking archdiocese. Like, this was so iconic and beautiful. And
also,
there are a couple...
those kinds of churches are so gay, like in the decor. Yeah. They're very rococo. They're just so ridiculous.
Mm-hmm.
It's like gargoyles with lipstick.
Exactly.
Yes.
So like,
which is what I'm gonna do for Halloween now.
Men's thighs.
Mm-hmm. So many thighs, a lot of thighs.
The number of my friends who were like one of my first crushes was Jesus, because I feel like it's like one of those first, like, you see a nude body with like a loincloth.
Super nude,
like,
and the thighs on the crucifix, like the one with the Jesus, thick.
They also like just have that, that passionate, like transcendent look.
It's like a little femme.
It's sexy.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
a little femme.
Like
not
eyes
sexual.
up to God.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. She's
a
sexy bitch.
Yeah, that's exactly it. Jesus, not just
is
sexual.
Gay as hell.
Oh, absolutely.
Mm-hmm. Those
All
vestments. Right. Ugh. Come on.
The Stations of the Cross.
Get out of here, girl. Okay. My last article to share with you, I wanted to provide like poop bookends. So we started with poop, we're ending with poop.
Cute.
This is also an older article hailing all the way from 2015, but we were blessed.
Old poop.
Love old poop. We were blessed with its delivery. I have to cover it. Here we go. Report. Person pooping in holes at Norwegian golf course still at large. In late breaking news from the dark world of golf course poop capers, a Norwegian golf club continues its fight against a habitual cup defacer who has used the course's holes as toilets.
The aim.
A hole's a hole.
Hole in one.
A hole's a hole, babe.
4.
According to a story published by Rogaland's Avis Frode Olsen, or golf/golf news net, Stavanger Golf Club in Stavanger, Norway, has been beset by an unknown pants-dropping menace for the last decade. Decade.
Whoa.
Oh, wow.
As the story goes, the club began finding feces in cups around the course in 2005. The bombing of said cups has since continued in earnest despite added security measures, including the installation of floodlights around some of the perpetrators' preferred greens.
But so they're still escaping the floodlights.
I guess so.
Like it's just happened. Okay.
Or the
like in that
floodlights
episode
are
of The
meaningless.
Traitors.
Oh my God. That is the fucking funniest shit. Scott doesn't watch The Traitors, I don't think. Do you?
Well, as if
it's like a meta show about reality TV show.
No.
Like, I wouldn't care.
It's not that at
You'll
all.
care.
No? Oh, really?
No,
You would love it.
It does have Alan Cumming, who is...
Alan Cumming is amazing. It's it's a game show. The people that are on it being like... What are they called?
Reality stars.
Reality stars is only...
it doesn't matter?
It's
okay,
a drop in the bucket. You will not care about who these people are.
That's like a tertiary plot line.
It adds a little bit of pleasure if you recognize some of the people, but like it doesn't matter. It's not not important to the show. It's my favorite fucking show. I'm obsessed with it.
Okay, great.
Anyway.
Okay. Sold.
Nothing definite is known about the monster behind these heinous movements, but there are some compelling theories.
Movements.
Oh my God, this is amazing. Quote, We know it's a man because the poos are too massive to be from a woman, says groundskeeper Kenneth Tenfjord.
Hey, we're
clearly
breaking
this-
boundaries. That is a
Clearly
glass
this
ceiling.
guy, clearly this
It's a
guy's
glass
never
toilet.
seen one of my shits because Kenneth, don't sell us short like that, bitch.
I have seen one, and
They're huge.
It was surprising.
Yeah, shocking.
Yeah.
Shocking.
It wasn't on purpose. It just I didn't seek it out. It just found me.
Sometimes it happens.
Whose women's poop did you see?
It was Amanda's. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Oh,
it was
I'm
like
sure.
I go to the bathroom after you take a shot. Like whatever.
We've roomed together a lot.
Yeah.
Sometimes things get left behind.
Yeah, mine are usually dispersed into the air. Sorry,
Oh.
Lucy.
Like dust.
Anyway,
Everything's dust.
Tenfjord added that toilet paper is also sometimes left behind. That
so
is
it's not a
more-
possum. Okay.
Definitely
Not
a
a
man.
possum. That also makes it sound more like a man. Like a woman's most likely gonna wipe, at least.
Women are cleaner, just like homicides and suicides. Women are going to be cleaner.
That's
Mhm.
wild. Course officials note that the offender only strikes during the work week and leaves bicycle tracks on sections of the course. So we're clear. Someone has been pooping in the cups at this golf course since Kanye West's late registration dropped, and no one has been able to catch them, effectively making this person the night crawler of cup pooping, the Danny Ocean of links logging. Links logging.
The Golden State pooper.
Golden State
Golden
Pooper.
State Pooper.
We caught
Unsolved
him, though.
mysteries. Well,
We caught
DNA
that
or
one.
something.
It's only a matter of time.
Wait, Paul
It's only a
Holes.
matter
Wasn't it
of time.
Holes? Wasn't that the Holes?
Holes.
All circles back. You like
Fucking ish.
poop on the front, poop on the back of your segment, and now we got holes on holes on holes.
Holes on
Indeed.
holes. A hole's a
Holes
hole.
all the way down.
If you have any information that could lead to the capture of this individual, please come forward. The golfers of Norway can't rest easy knowing that after any given putt, they may reach in the hole and retrieve much, much more than their ball.
The golfers of Norway. Someone call Paul. Better call Paul.
Better call Paul.
Having just recently returned to my ancestral homeland of Norway, you read that in a way that is the opposite of Norwegians. Like, I'm not
Exactly.
gonna say it's a stereotype, but it is acutely true of literally everyone I met that like there was no there's a lilt to the language, but not to the way of acting.
No,
Like,
I
my mom
wanted
and I
to
were
read
consistently
it-
the loudest people in every room, and we're like, we're not even really that loud.
I wanted to read it like an old-timey detective.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Okay, got
that's-
it.
You
Mhm.
accomplished
That's what I
it.
went with. I
It's
did.
very private gumshoe sort of. Yeah.
Thank you.
Well done.
So those are my headlines for this month. Thank you to everyone who sent them in. And as always, if you have any funny headlines for me, head over to wineandcrimepodcast.com, go to contact us, and use that little drop-down menu to select funny headline so we know what folder it's going to go into.
Okay, we're back.
Woo!
Scott, are you ready?
I think so.
I
I've been
don't
handed
know.
I haven't really looked at this. I'm such a preparer, and so I am really leaning into discomfort and just cold reading,
We're cold
which
I
I'm
reading.
love
told is part
that.
of the fun. But
It is.
I think it's gonna be really fun.
Because then we all get to experience this
That's true.
in real time together.
Yes.
Also, my favorite
Ow.
part is when the reader kind of like your brain reads ahead a little bit before your mouth, and you're like, oh my God, oh my God.
I'm very excited.
Yes.
Okay.
Well, let's go with your Coven confessions.
Coven
Scott.
Confessions. Let's hear all of the horrible things that y'all have done. Okay, so this one is entitled Bloodbath at the Southside May. Oh, see, I already know this word. Mayher. Mayher.
Major?
Meijer.
Mater?
Major?
Mayher. Yep. Okay, well, I already fucked up. Love it. So I have a Coven confession, which I refer to as Bloodbath at the Southside Mayher. Mayher. A few years ago, I was living in Lansing, Michigan. I was staying in my friend's basement for a time during a transitional phase, one could say. This friend was a musician who recorded for other bands at his place, and one evening while he was recording upstairs, I had to poop. The other bathroom was right next to where they were recording.
Oh, God.
I know they were
Also,
making enough.
A mayor is a grocery store.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
That's what this is
okay.
referring to, I assume.
I really. Okay. Yes.
Meyer, I have no idea. Who knows?
Meyer Lemon.
Someone in Michigan is screaming right now.
I know. I'm sure everyone's like, what do you... Come on. Okay. I know they were making enough noise to drown out any possible sounds, but it was still awkward, you know? I couldn't deal with the thought of people listening to an album that included subliminal shitting. So I'm thinking of how
I would be wanting that so bad.
Like, why do I have to poop every time I listen to this song?
Mm-hmm. That's what they play in Barnes and Nobles.
Yes!
We cracked it.
So in thinking of how I could deal with this situation, I decided I would hit the Mayhair down the street where I could poop and pick up a few things I needed anyway. Kill two birds, an efficient plan. I thought I was going to say, kill two birds, one poop. Two girls, one poop. An efficient plan. So I quietly snuck past them to get to the door and proceeded to walk to Mayhair. Once there, I hit the bathroom where I could poop in relative peace. When I went to grab some toilet paper, I was met with that frustrating situation that often occurs with cheap-ass one-ply bullshit that is impossible to unroll. I was able to get a couple of squares out at a time while scraping my knuckles on those fucking metal teeth that tears the paper off.
That's
We all know that scenario.
fucking worst.
It's the like pigeon pin, version of like, no, you want this. No, you don't want this.
Totally.
While I was sitting there wiping, I saw little droplets of blood on the floor and thought, women, gross.
Oh my God.
Oh, this must be, what? Okay. I cannot stand when ladies are careless with their body fluids. Oh, okay. I know
They're thinking someone had a period situation.
Okay.
I'm thinking they cut themselves trying to get toilet paper out of the thing and they don't realize that it's their fault yet.
I guess I went straight there and didn't think about menstruation.
Yeah.
I know we shouldn't feel shame for that stuff, but still, clean up after yourself. Nobody needs to see that, and it's just unsanitary. I stood up to flush and realized the dripping was coming from me.
There it is.
And it wasn't period related. It was from my hand.
There
you go.
I had cut the fuck out of my knuckle on the metal teeth of the toilet paper dispenser.
Because you also get to a point with the toilet paper thing where you're just like,
yeah,
you're just like going at it with your fingernails.
Now they need a fucking tetanus shot because ick.
Yeah.
Oh, probably even worse than tetanus. Jeez.
Just get every shot. Just get every single one that they
cut
have.
off the hand. Cut off the hand.
Yeah.
Amputate.
Get the works.
So anyway, it was a gusher. For whatever reason, I sort of flicked my hand over the toilet to get some of the blood off before trying to wrap it in toilet paper, I guess.
Just spraying blood everywhere.
I
now
guess
you
because
think
I thought,
the toilet paper is going to come off.
I sort of flicked my hand over the toilet to get some of the blood off before trying to wrap it in toilet paper. I guess because I thought I'd just injure my hand on that archaic dispenser.
Yeah.
If I flung some of the blood off, I could quickly make it over the sink to wash my hand and wrap it in a paper towel. The line of thinking here is immaculate.
Ridiculous. Yeah.
They're panicking.
I mean, blood will do that. I flung blood all over the stall. It looked like a crime scene. I couldn't imagine what people would think happened in there. Like a woman exploded or was murdered.
Scott, this reminds me of when we went on our French trip. We went to our French families when I went in high school. And I got this was back before I was on birth control, so I had horrifically heavy periods.
And I was so worried about it.
I was already preemptively like, oh my God, I'm going to bleed all over this person's sheets or their bathroom or something.
Yeah.
And I definitely did.
Yeah.
You
were like...
It got in their grout. I don't know how to say period in French.
Yeah. I was like struggling to be like, what time should I wake up? That was like my biggest, like, how do I know when to wake up? And you're like, how do I let you know that I got blood on your grout?
All over your red Egyptian cotton sheets.
That's what you said. You're como dito. I just got my period all over 300 cotton. Yeah, anyways, it was hilarious. That's emblazoned in my memory. Okay.
Yeah.
Your trauma is emblazoned on my memory.
Same with me and you. True friends share trauma.
Yeah.
Share the trauma load.
I held my hand in the air to slow the flow of blood. Excited, exited the stall, grabbed a bunch of paper towels, and wiped up the mess. At this time, a woman exited another stall and looked over her shoulder in either confusion or horror as I was muttering, fuck, fuck, fuck.
Why not both?
Why not? I was smearing blood all over the stall. She left real quick. No, you're just making it worse. Like,
yeah, because those paper towels are never absorbent.
No.
Yeah, this is a disaster.
Those paper towels are better at squeegeeing than paper toweling.
Okay, so after I cleaned up the bloodbath, I washed my hands and contemplated going to a nearby urgent care for stitches. Sounds like you needed them, honestly. I mean, that dispenser really did a number on me. I don't know if you've ever sliced a knuckle, but it's a challenge to form a clot when you have a wound right on the jointed location of your body.
That does suck.
I decided to tightly wrap my finger in strips of paper towel and went to the first aid aisle for a box of Band-Aids, Neosporin, and sanitizer.
Good work, honey.
Good job, yeah. I walked back to my friend's house, my finger pulsating and bleeding through my makeshift tourniquet. I felt like super white trash. That poop was not even worth it. They rarely are. No, sometimes they are. I quietly walked past the...
I take that back.
I did.
I immediately take that
back. Pull it back together. I quietly walked past the recording session and down to the basement lair, holding my finger tightly and holding in silent screams. I lay down on my floor mattress with the cat, who looked at me with the same confusion and concern as the self-checkout attendant. I just tried to relax, come down from the adrenaline, and watch Trailer Park Boys with the cat for the rest of the evening. A white trash ending to a white trash night.
Oh my God.
Well, that's the story of a bloodbath at the Southside Mayhem. My finger healed up just fine, as did my mental state. I eventually got my life together, got my own place, and never went to that Mayhem again.
Good call.
Oh my God. There's probably still blood on those stall walls.
You know it has not
as
been
if there
clean.
wasn't before that. I mean,
Right.
you've been to a trashy supermarket. Like, that's where people attend to a lot of their needs.
That's where people go to bleed.
Have you ever been to the bathroom in a Menards?
No. Can't say I have.
Okay.
No,
that's a special
haven't.
treat. That is a special treat.
Why? Can I get the headline on that?
They're like spooky, kind of.
Huh.
Oh.
I don't know how to explain it. It's like you can already tell that the men's room is much more frequented than the women's room.
Sure.
But they still have there's still the same dimensions. There's like a really long row of stalls. I don't know. There's just something really spooky about it. And then you can also hear the music really well. And like Menard's music is
you say big
a
money,
little bit weird.
You say big money when you shop Menards.
Oh yeah, hearing that guy tell me something while I'm pooping, I'm like,
screaming
I
at
do
you.
need fence materials.
Ugh.
Ooh, I don't like that.
You need a garden.
You do deserve a garden.
I don't.
Yeah, I don't really know how to explain. It's also like really cold. I don't know. The lighting. There's something
Let's go
about
visit
it.
one and document it. Let's have like a haunters moment.
Like a ghost hunters
Ghost
movie?
Adventures.
Yes, exactly. We need a Ghost Adventures, but in Menards, and it's because Menards, like, the family's like really conservative, I guess. So
Yeah.
it's the ghosts of all the people that they've
oppressed,
kept taxpayer dollars away from.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway,
But not all the babies they've aborted.
No.
Right. Those are. Anyway, sorry, I was going to make an off-color joke, which I won't do right now, because I'm going to tell you all about Mr. Pee Pants. It wasn't even going to be that funny. Mr. Pee Pants. I really identify with this one. Water sports, Just kidding. I'm not into that. But no judgment. So Mr. Pee Pants. This certainly wasn't the worst thing I've ever done, but that's not the assignment. This is not the worst thing I've ever done, but it's arguably the funniest thing I've done while drunk. Okay.
Okay.
You resolved it. Okay. A few weeks ago, I was asleep in bed next to my boyfriend and our dog after a solid brownout of a night.
So they got a little drunk, but not blackout drunk. They got brownout drunk.
It's been a while since I've been drunk. It's kind of weird.
Yeah.
I'll be over after.
Well,
It's
that's
kind
not
of
true.
weird.
I got wine drunk like a week ago, but still.
Okay. Our bedroom is the attic of a house built in the 1930s that you have to climb some very steep, twisted wooden stairs to access.
Ooh.
Boyfriend and I have only fallen down them once in the 4 years we've lived together.
Only one?
They each have only done it once.
Okay.
I mean, look who's talking, Amanda.
I know, right? I'm impressed.
Despite being pretty good drinkers, and I was sober when I fell down them. This fateful night, I was prodded awake by my very full bladder. Upon standing up, I realized that I very much had the spins and very much did not want to go downstairs to the bathroom.
Yeah.
Well, I told myself, the bathroom is right at the bottom of the stairs. I don't like where this is going. And with that, I stripped down, squatted on the top step, and ejected a waterfall of piss from the top of the stairs to the main floor.
No.
That is not what I expected.
No,
That's,
I was
flawless
saying you're
logic.
just gonna just throw yourself down the stairs. You'll end up near the bathroom.
Yeah, I thought that was like I can make it. I don't want to do it, but I can do it. But then something bad's going to happen on the way down. Not I'm just going to stand at the top and hope for the best. Push hard.
Oh.
Well, I believe in gravity, so... the second it started coming out, I realized that I fucked up royally. Okay, see, they're getting there. The pee wasn't magically going to float into the toilet, and there would be no reasonable explanation for the volume of urine on the stairs, even if all four of our pets had a pee party at the same time.
Nope.
So I prayed that my boyfriend hadn't been woken up by the noise of it splattering like a fire hose down the wooden steps and splashed down the stairs to retrieve as many paper towels as I could carry. I cannot begin to express how much pee it was. I could have exploded and died if I didn't let it out.
Oh my God. There is like nothing quite as... what's the word?
Oppressive.
Large and emergent as a like drunk piss.
That sound.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Like
it spurs one into action.
It hits so hard, so fast, and it's always an emergency.
That's so true. Here's the deal. Now we have to, Amanda, I'm going to like hightail it to your house before 7 so that we can like hop over to Menards. But first we need to get really wasted.
Done. And then get a cab.
And
yeah.
go do our ghost hunters thing to go do drunk pisses at Menards.
Great.
Oh, shit.
Are you in?
Can I come? That sounds fun.
Yes.
Yeah. Come on.
Do drunk pisses at Menards.
Oh, I just farted. By the time I got back in bed, boyfriend still seemed to be asleep, and neither of us said a word about it the next day. So I think I got away with it. He's a listener of the show, though, and I kind of hope he figures out this was my submission if it gets read on air.
He'll figure it out.
No, he knows. Well,
he-
actually, boyfriends are really good at being, not knowing, but he'll figure it out.
Twisty wooden stairs to your attic bedroom.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Sound familiar?
It smelled like pee for 6 months? Yeah, I thought so.
Yeah. So wait, are we to believe
she
that they were
blame the
never
dog?
cleaned? Oh my God.
No, they got the paper towels, right?
Okay.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
But even
it
still,
lingers.
paper towels isn't
It's not enough.
cleaning.
Yeah.
No. And that's drying. That's not cleaning.
This is
Right.
Mr. Pee Pants.
Well, Mr. P Pants says at the end, I'm just glad our stairs aren't carpet.
Yeah, it's
Mine
better that
are.
they're not carpet.
Yeah.
After, I'm not going to say which cousin this was, but they know. After my dad's funeral, me and 3 of my cousins were sharing a hotel room. And we got very drunk that night, as you do. at
Off
a
that big
funeral.
wine bottle.
We didn't drink that night, but we were at like the hotel bar till the wee hours.
Got it.
And one of my cousins got up to pee in the middle of the night, and we all heard them get up and heard them saunter into the bathroom and not close the door, and then heard water hitting the tile.
Oh.
And they were standing like 4 feet in front of the toilet, hammered,
Yeah.
just peeing. And we were all screaming. Anyway, it happens.
To be fair, for the tens of thousands of times that we pee in our lifetimes, it's amazing that it doesn't happen more often.
You're right. Once
what
in a
I'm gonna say
while,
about
you're going
that.
to miss the bowl.
Yeah, the
And I gotta tell you, it's not like a hose where it's really you're gonna predict where it's gonna go. Sometimes it's just like I pointed here and it goes here. You
Right.
know, it's like off to the left.
I understand.
man, and you don't even have to sit down to pee.
Yeah.
Like
imagine.
God knows where you're gonna sit. Yeah,
I
Wild.
can't.
I agree.
I can't.
The cognitive conditioning is something else.
It's a vast majority of human history. I say this as an anthropology major. The vast majority of human history,
The
we didn't
vast
have
deferens
toilets.
majority.
Exactly. That's all I'm
Gosh.
saying. So apparently this, I guess this Coven Confessions has a theme in that this next one is called Miss Pee Pants.
Ooh,
Oh,
okay.
okay.
So, backstory. I work for a relatively small company where we're literally all friends. Cute. It was one of the co-founders' birthday this past weekend, so we were celebrating today by going over to their house to play games, have lunch, and cake. The whole shebang.
How darling.
Adorable. I was excited to use today as an excuse to wear my brand new pink romper shorts that I normally wouldn't label as work attire.
I love romper shorts.
I love a romper.
Yeah.
So I'm playing pickleball.
Pickle barf. That's the new name of pickleball.
For the first time ever in my cute little overalls and honestly just feeling myself. That's when I remember I'm severely out of shape 30-something with an extremely lazy pelvic floor.
Felt.
Within a few minutes, I feel myself just pee a little. Cool. So I decided to power through because it was already happened. I'm having fun, so screw it.
It's just a dab. What are you going to do?
Exactly.
Dollop
a little dab will do
daisy.
you. After 2 matches...
A dab
about
will do ya.
It'll fucking do ya.
After
You're
2 matches,
done.
about an hour and a half, I figure I should probably go to the bathroom and assess the situation. Guys, I full-on peed my pants.
Oh, no. Thought it was a dab, but it was just
Not a dab.
No.
Well, a little dab will do you.
It's giving
It'll do you
Blorty.
in.
God bless her, but
Courtney-
that gal.
Blorty post children is so
Oh.
fun to make laugh really hard
Yes.
because she'll always
She has
piss
to
herself.
cry. She has the longest legs, and she will tightly entwine them and then scoot in the funniest way, like toward the bathroom. Because if you get her going, she cannot stop, and she will fully pee her pants. She definitely did it in Vegas.
She did it at my house last PFC.
Oh, it's like my favorite thing. She turns bright red. She's so cute. She cries because she's laughing so hard.
She's so cute.
It's lovely.
It's so.
This is what it means to be a woman as far as I understand it, and I'm here for
straight up.
it.
Not being
Yes.
able to hold shit.
1,000%.
Mm-hmm.
So this person continues. Now, under different circumstances, this would have been a no-brainer.
Mm-hmm.
Throw them away. They're far too cute, far too gone situation. However, I'm wearing my cute little pink overalls that are very wide leg and very thin. So I'd be one errant gust of wind away from flashing my coworkers.
Oh, so we're thinking ditch the panties.
Yeah,
But they need the coverage.
Yep.
Okay.
So def, not really an option. I do the next best thing. I wrap the crotch of the panties in a bunch of toilet paper and then
Yes.
head back out to the festivities. Is that the next best thing?
Best thing.
It's not the next best thing, but it is in a panic the
Grab a
thing you decide
tablecloth,
to
make
do.
a new pair of panties.
Yep.
It's
Project Runway.
a solution.
I do the next
Make it
best
work.
thing, which is Tim gun it.
The toilet paper weirdly works and isn't as uncomfortable as I thought it would be, so I kind of forget about it. Everyone then starts playing a game of speed basketball. Oh, these people are too athletic.
I hate this party so much.
This party
if this is
sucks.
me, I've left hours ago.
Yeah. Nice to
I
see you
s-
guys. I
yeah.
gotta go.
I stopped by for
I
cake.
gotta
Someone
go.
asked about
I
pickleball.
peed myself and I stayed behind because I love athletics so much.
No, at the mere invitation of pickleball, I pissed myself and left.
Yeah, it's like when you're being captured, you're supposed to piss yourself to confuse the
Scare
attacker.
them off. Yep.
Yeah, and leave your
Anyway.
DNA.
Exactly.
There it is. Tips and tricks.
Tips and tricks.
Follow me for more recipes.
So everyone starts playing a game of speed basketball. I'm not doing too bad, and I actually make it to the last handful of people, but I finally get out. So I go to stand with all my coworkers to watch the rest of the game play out. That's when I see it.
Yep.
Toilet paper shreds littering the court.
No.
I'm sorry, I just died.
I thought they were just going to be maybe coming out of the leg, the pant leg,
Littering the court.
but no.
Toilet paper sounds really you need more ply. Ma'am, you need more ply.
Well, toilet paper is literally made to break down with moisture so that it doesn't clog
Yeah.
like the septic system.
It makes
So it's
sense.
not
True.
it's
Okay.
not going to hold. It's not going to hold, honey. She's not going to hold.
The center
believe we
will
can
not
have-
hold.
We
The
can
center
have
will
toilet
not.
paper that won't litter the basketball court.
No.
So I am mortified. Did
Yeah.
anyone see them? Was it noticeable when they fell out?
Yes.
The answers to all these
Yes
is
and yes.
Yes.
Yep.
Are there any hanging out of my shorts?
Probably
Yes, probably.
The idea of any of my friends / coworkers picking up my piss-soaked toilet paper makes me literally want to die on the spot.
Oh
Who's
my
going to pick that up,
God.
though?
No one.
No, you'll let the wind
Blortney,
do its
she'd
job.
be like, oh, somebody dropped.
Blortney would
Blortney would.
totally try to
Oh,
clean
it's
it
got
up.
piss on it. Oh, somebody dropped it.
Such a mom.
Such a mom.
Such a mom.
Such a mom.
By the grace of Mother God, the wind picks up and gently blows my shame toward the side of the court. And to my knowledge, no one even thought about it twice.
Gently
Oh, it's an
blow my
outdoor.
shame.
Okay. We're like outdoors. Yeah, okay, I don't know. So I'm back at my desk sitting in a fresh wrap of toilet paper and praying the next 4
back
hours
to
fly by.
work?
I don't understand these people, but I love them. God love them. Praying the next 4 hours fly by so I can run home and shower. Pray for me. Anyway,
So it's
love
like
them.
field day.
They're
It's
writing this as they're writing this as it's happening.
As it's happening?
I
Oh my
love that. Like, they went back
God.
to their desk to like do some work and also submit a Coven confession.
It's like
I
a
love
field
that.
day. It's like a work field day thing.
Fresh.
That's
I mean,
why
the
it's so
aroma of
athletic.
urine still with them. Like, this is really good
babe,
writing.
Take
This is
your
why this is
lunch
so
break
good.
and go home and change.
Honey, we will call and give you a doctor's note. You gotta
Yeah.
go. Go home.
Go home.
Go home.
This is Miss P Pants' aunt. Just
Yep.
letting you know she can go home.
Her maiden aunt.
She's
Anyway,
got a
love the
dentist
pod.
appointment.
I hope this story gives as much joy as it gave me pain. It really does. Thank
It
you.
does.
Yes.
Thank you,
It-
Miss P Pants.
Doesn't give me as much joy as it gives me pure mortification. I am so sorry. This sounds awful.
It does sound
I'm
awful.
horrified similarly that your friend group is so athletic and that you went back to
Yeah.
your desk. But
This was your
God love her.
mid-workday birthday celebration. I can't.
Actually, that's very.
Oh,
See, none of us have worked in a corporate environments for so long. We just don't know what it's like.
Ugh.
I
All right,
have.
I
I
think this is
have
my
to
la-
the degree where I still have nightmares about it.
Oh god.
Yeah.
Oh.
I'm sorry, PTSD, but like about corporations.
Oh, we also
very
had,
much a
like-
real thing.
We also had like field day type things.
Like team building
Mhm.
shit.
Three-legged races.
Getting outside, interacting with other departments, blah blah blah.
Oh,
Ew.
But I-
trust files.
I bet you I have just as many, if not more, nightmares about my corporate life as I do about like high school. Like I forgot my locker combination.
you do still have a lot of those nightmares.
Yeah, I
Like,
do. They're kind of like
regularly.
I don't even have server nightmares anymore. I have corporate and high school.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah.
I've just blacked out on my trauma so well that I don't have memories, or I don't have memories. Period. I don't have
Good
dreams that I
for
remember.
you.
I just
so
don't dream anymore.
I've just buried them so far down that they will come out in the last like 35 seconds of my life in one long stream of consciousness, and it's going to be really exciting. And I hope someone's there to document.
I
it.
hope I can be there.
Cool.
And I hope they've invented like projectors from your brain onto the wall so I can just
Neuralink,
watch
babe.
this.
Yeah, good thing I'm a good
Neuralink.
writer. I could just really evoke it.
You are a really
Yeah.
fucking good writer, by the way.
I'll bring
I
popcorn
read
to your
several
deathbed.
more pages last night,
Ooh.
and I have a very solid favorite character.
Oh yeah, obviously.
Yeah, we all know
I'm
who
really
it is.
excited for the rest of the Coven to be able to engage with my book. So somebody please publish my book. Thank you so
Mhm.
much.
Yeah, Scott wrote a book. It's amazing.
Amazing.
I'm really excited. Okay, anyway, speaking of being so excited that you're going to poop, here, this last one is titled A Shitty Proposal.
Oh,
Oh,
no.
God.
Okay, here we go. All right, it says, I hear you like stories involving poop. And specifically shitting your pants. They really got our number. So
Yeah.
I got a great one for you on how my lovely bowels decided to ruin my proposal.
Okay.
Oh, no.
I love that. Earlier this year, my boyfriend at the time and I went on a beautiful vacation on Vancouver Island up in Canada.
Gorgeous.
We live on the mainland, so this trip was a nice little getaway. Anyways, fast forward to us getting to our own cabin. We rented meters away from the ocean, and we decided after dinner, some gas station food because the town we arrived in was so small the only grocery store closed hours beforehand, so we had to make do.
Was
To
it
go
a
for a
was it
beautiful
a
walk.
Meijers?
Meijers.
Meijers?
To go for a beautiful walk on the lighthouse. Now, unknown to me, the boyfriend had the engagement ring with him in his wallet the entire trip.
Oh.
Wallet?
How it never fell out, I would never understand.
Yeah, that's brazen.
Yeah.
I know. Well, the setting of this walk was picture perfect. Sunny day, beautiful, pink sky, sunset, and we're only about 10 minutes away from the lighthouse where the perfect setting was for this proposal. Well, my bowels decided that exact moment when we were neither close enough to the lighthouse or park with outhouses or the cabin that I needed to go now.
I know that feeling so well.
Gas station
Weekly,
dinner will do
if-
that.
Not more.
Oh.
Oh,
it's-
yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know if you've ever tried to speed walk while holding in a volcano of poop in your ass,
Yep.
which
Yes.
obviously we do. Hello.
Yeah.
I know exactly
There's nothing
how that
more.
feels.
That is the common human experience across all cultures as an anthropology major.
Mhm.
Quit
But let me
saying
tell
that.
you, it was not fun. I know that. I'm saying it because it's funny that I keep saying it.
I fucking love it.
I'm allowed.
Yeah, you earned it, babe.
I inform the boyfriend that I have to go, and he immediately runs ahead to try and spot an outhouse for me. Oh, lovely.
Oh, that
That
is
is love.
romantic.
While my stomach is making all sounds of an eruption and my ass is squeezed together so tight I'm walking like a badly animated stick man.
Oh, honey.
This is love. The boyfriend comes running back saying he spotted an outhouse just up the way and helps encourage me to be able to make it.
Oh, you can do it.
I'm in love.
If you make it without shitting your pants, I'll propose.
And if you don't, I'll do it anyway.
And if you don't, I'll do it anyway because I love you, honey.
Oh, that's so cute. Every corner we rounded of this trail, I keep thinking to myself, well, he's seen me piss behind a tree on the first date. I guess he will see me shit my pants now, too.
Yeah, it's like every step you take, you're like, oh, this is the last step I can take
Every
before
move I
it's
make.
every
Yeah,
move
there
you
it
make.
goes.
Yep.
Ugh.
When we finally see the building, he rushes to make sure it was vacant as I stormed inside, just barely able to pull down my pants in time for my vomiting asshole.
This man is so gallant.
Yes.
Get
Yeah,
you a
Gallivant.
man.
Get you
Yeah.
a man who runs ahead to make sure it's the outhouse is vacant while you're having a poop attack.
That's really
Or get rid of the
sweet.
person in there so it can be vacant.
Seriously.
Or kill the person in there.
You just kick the door in and start screaming and hope
Like, you
everyone
get out or
scatters.
you're going to have to deal with this. Okay.
Yep.
I make it out all right. We both breathe a sigh of relief and finish our walk, still wary that my bowels may strike again.
Oh.
We make it to the lighthouse, just taking in the view before making our walk back to the cabin. On our walk way back, this champ of a man tells me that when he didn't think we would have found a bathroom in time, he was prepared to throw me into a bush and then run and get toilet paper from the outhouse to then bring back to me.
Oh my God.
I'll marry him.
The next day, as I'm shoving a donut in my face, I love their relationship.
I love it too.
Well, so
He
he did not propose.
Well, he waddled. So the next day, eating a donut, so already the best day.
Yep.
He waddles over and proposed to me right there.
That was the right move. Don't
Yeah.
do it right after the trauma of a poop
Yeah.
attack. She would
Waddles
never
over.
get over that.
I know waddles was interesting. Once the happy tears had stopped, he disclosed that he was in fact planning to propose at the lighthouse, but that because the mood was interrupted, he decided to wait. Needless to say, my lovely bowels decided that a beautiful romantic proposal in front of the ocean and sunset was not for me, and I wouldn't change it for the world.
Oh,
Can I just
Now
say rebuttal?
that's a good one right
Rebuttal.
there.
Rebuttal.
What?
You never have the same rush of euphoria as you do when you narrowly escape shitting your pants. And you have
Okay.
an excellent shit. Like, I bet you this person was in the greatest mood.
I
Glowing.
want to also honor, though, that this seems like a very attentive partner
Yes.
who we would trust to know the recipient of their proposal better than we know them.
Yes.
And so, like, for you, yes, that's Corey's moment to get down on one knee. My lady just took an amazing, massive shit and survived a poop
Mhm.
attack. She's feeling better
glowing.
than she's ever felt. I better propose right
Yeah.
now. But
Mhm.
that
was gonna
might
say-
not be applicable to this person's situation.
You're
Rebut
not
to the
wrong.
rebuttal. Rebuttal. Maybe,
Triple butt.
how could I possibly top this amazing poop moment? I'll have to make tomorrow's highlight.
True.
Mhm.
You don't want to
Proposal.
follow up that act.
Yeah.
A donut
Yep.
and a proposal. Yeah.
Yep.
I think they
So-
did the right thing.
He
I
went
think
and
they
got
did
the
too.
donuts the next day once the grocery
Ugh.
store was open. That's like
Yeah.
a close
I
second.
can't.
Close second.
It's so
I-
sweet.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm looking for an agent for my book and also a boyfriend who would do this.
And also a love
Or a
like
person
this.
friend, who knows?
I would do
now,
this.
poor man is now my husband and has to deal with said bowels for the rest of his life, is what they wrote. But I'm going to say, like,
This lucky man.
you, lucky that man also.
Mhm.
I love that. That is the end of the confessions. And
Ugh.
I'm always some poops and peas.
Lots
Always.
of them.
It was very
Mhm.
funny.
And
when
blood. And blood.
Andrea pulled these and was like,
Mhm.
I hope Scott doesn't have an aversion to poop and pee stories. And I was like, no.
That's my bread and butter.
Yeah, I
The
was
contrary.
like, Daddy
That's my bowel and
lives.
butter.
Daddy lives for the poop and pee. The scat
Mhm.
king.
The
Okay,
Scat
maybe
King.
let's not let that one stick. Oh no! Now I'm gonna make it. Now it's gonna stick, isn't it? Yeah, that's what I thought. That's cool.
Sick
Courtney
like
and the Scat King.
meconium.
Well done, babe.
Yeah, thanks for
Thank
sharing,
you.
everybody. I love that you're the repository for all of this. It's amazing.
Oh, it's such a beautiful community.
It's our honor.
And so many great stories. It is an
Yeah.
honor. It's truly an honor. All right, should we take another quick break and then figure out what Lucy is going to terrify us with this month? Last month it was what, elevators?
It was
Yeah, I
elevators.
just listened to it today. It was awful.
You're a
Yeah.
bad person.
Well, I don't not have a new one for you.
Great.
Oh, great.
All right, we're back.
We're back.
Lucy, I do not want to pass the baton to you, but I have no fucking choice.
Honestly, I'm sparing you the worst parts, which we'll get to.
Oh, are you?
Mhm.
Oh.
I am.
Put him back. Put him back right now. I
That's
want them.
so nice of
I
you.
don't want to for my own mental health.
Okay.
Oh
'cause
my God.
You know what? We're going to get to it. So, a few people have written in about the nitrogen execution in Alabama.
Oh God.
Oh yeah.
Oh no.
So here's an article from the AP. This particular one was sent in by Janae, and I've been meaning to like look further into this, and I looked, and I wish I hadn't. So
Oh,
I'm going to
God.
read you the initial article, and I'm going to spare you. We'll get to
Are
it.
you? Okay.
I would prefer to because I don't really want to revisit it myself.
Great.
Okay.
Thank you.
An Alabama death row inmate filed a lawsuit Thursday that challenges the constitutionality of nitrogen gas executions, arguing that the first person in the nation put to death by that method shook violently for several minutes in a, quote, a human experiment that officials botched miserably.
Oh my God.
That's horrifying.
Yeah. The lawsuit filed in federal court in Alabama alleges the January execution, I think it was January 25th of this year, 2024. The January execution of Kenneth Eugene Smith by nitrogen gas was torturous and, quote, cannot be allowed to be repeated. And just in case you're wondering, Smith was found guilty, convicted of a murder for hire plot where he killed a woman whose husband hired him to kill.
Him to do it. Yeah.
Mhm.
I mean, irrelevant.
Yeah. I mean, we're all
Irrelevant,
All of
but-
us on this show are not proponents of the death penalty, and this
Yeah.
should make you even less of a proponent of the death
Well,
penalty.
it's just part of the rhetoric of this is like, and here's why he might have deserved it.
Right.
Or I guess the
Mhm.
state has decided he deserved it.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I will say that this particular article didn't talk about that. I Googled it on my own just because I was curious.
Mm-hmm.
I also feel like I should just say that he was a white man.
Mm-hmm.
But again, I personally don't think that anyone deserves the death penalty, and we'll fucking get to it. So the lawsuit says descriptions from witnesses that Smith shook and convulsed contradicted the state's promises to federal judges that nitrogen would provide a quick and humane death.
Okay,
they
so
were-
the state is saying this is a peaceful method.
The state
But
said that it
witnesses are
would take
saying-
just a few seconds, and
But
witnesses
the witnesses
were like,
are saying this was a nightmare.
that is not what happened. Yes.
okay.
And the empirical evidence requires that it actually somebody has to go through it.
Right.
Yeah, and he was the first one to go through it.
Oh,
So, quote, the
God.
results of the first human experiment are now in, and they demonstrate that nitrogen gas asphyxiation is neither quick nor painless, but agonizing and painful, said attorney Bernard E. Harcourt in the lawsuit. The lawsuit was filed on behalf of death row inmate David Philip Wilson, who was sentenced to death after he was convicted of killing a man during a 2004 burglary. So that's a different guy.
Oh, it's like the next person.
I think
That
it's like
would
the
be-
next
Future
person.
person,
Yeah,
yeah.
so like the next person's lawyer was like,
We're not doing it like this.
first one didn't
Yeah.
go that well.
Yeah.
The lawsuit seeks a declaratory judgment that the current nitrogen gas asphyxiation protocol violates the inmate's constitutional right to protection from cruel and unusual punishment. Alabama last month became the first state to use nitrogen gas to put an inmate to death. Nitrogen gas is authorized in 3 states currently that are Alabama, which is the state that did it, Oklahoma, and Mississippi, but no other state had previously attempted to use it. So this nitrogen gas thing, the method is called physiologically inert gases.
Okay.
So this means that the gas has nitrogen in it and no oxygen in it. So you're still breathing, but you're not getting any oxygen, so your cells die.
Ugh.
So you're still breathing a gas, but it's
not the one you
It's
need.
not like suffocation. It's like cellular suffocation. It's still asphyxiation, but it's not suffocation.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yeah. I feel like that seems like a conceptually acceptable method, but in practice,
physiologically, you're still breathing some sort of gas, but it is not oxygen. But that's kind of what a lot of like assisted suicides use physiologically inert gases.
Okay.
So people have elected to do this, and it's gone better.
Yeah, there are different gases that are used for it, like helium was one of them. But they use nitrogen for this one, and I'm not obviously a chemist, so I don't really know what the differences are, but it has been used in the past, like this method.
What's the laughing gas? What is that? Obviously, you're not like going that far, but when you like.
It's
nitrogen?
No, nitrous nitrogen. Or something?
Nitrous oxide.
Nitrous
right?
oxide, yeah.
Yeah.
It came into my head, so it feels like it's probably right. As a chemist, as a chemapology major.
As someone who was in our high school production of Little Shop of Horrors, we know that it's
You're
the gas.
basically a scientist. So gases, you can play with the amounts of oxygen and other chemicals in it. So like laughing gas, it would have obviously a substantial, adequate amount of oxygen in it in addition to the nitrous oxide. But this gas it has such a little concentration of oxygen or no oxygen. It's just other gases so that it kills you.
I don't know what the protocol is with state sanctioned
the death penalty,
the death penalty. But from what I have read and watched in like documentaries about assisted suicide, like medically assisted suicide, you're also the recipient, at least from what I've seen, also gets like some sedation and like calm, like anti-anxiety, like things that are going to make them comfortable before you initiate, in this instance, say cellular suffocation, cellular death. But I wonder if the same is extended to inmates on death row. And I would not be surprised if it wasn't.
It doesn't sound like it. And I doubt it also, just like on a
gut feeling level,
expenses wise,
right?
Everything's 100 times more expensive when it goes into like a prison. It's not just a dose of anti-anxiety meds. I'm sure it would be like thousands of dollars. Yeah. And from this article and the things that I read, it does not sound like it.
That's so fucked up.
So during the execution, a respirator face mask, which is normally used in industrial settings to deliver life-preserving oxygen, was strapped to Smith's head. Pure nitrogen gas was pumped into it, causing him to die from a lack of oxygen. So the U.S. Supreme Court allowed Smith's execution to proceed last month. The lawsuit contends that media and witness accounts of the execution contradict the state's prediction to the courts that the nitrogen gas would render Smith unconscious, quote, within seconds. It was not within seconds.
Yeah.
Smith, trigger warning, and again, I'm leaving out the worst parts. Smith shook in thrashing spasms and seizure-like movements for several minutes at the start of the execution. The force of his movements caused the gurney that he was laying on to visibly move, like,
Oh my
at least
God.
once. But he was, like, really seizing.
Ugh.
Reporters from the Associated Press, the Montgomery Advertiser, the Alabama Reflector, and WHNT attended the execution as media witnesses. Quote, in stark contrast to the Attorney General's representations, the 5 media witnesses chosen by the Alabama Department of Corrections and present at Mr. Smith's execution recounted a prolonged period of consciousness marked by shaking, struggling, and writhing by Mr. Smith for several minutes after the nitrogen gas started flowing, says the lawsuit.
It's honestly... good is the wrong word, but I'm grateful that there were like state-sanctioned media witnesses there who could actually advocate for it's too late for the individual who received this method, but to say like, whoa, this is fucked.
Yeah.
You cannot use this on other people.
Yeah.
Because without that, I mean, if the only testimony you're really getting is more like emotional testimony from, say, survivor's family or the now deceased family, it's like the state's not going to take that shit seriously, but their own sanctioned witnesses that are there from the media to be impartial third-party witnesses to this kind of event are journalists. It's so fucking important.
This reminds me of the William Williams case that I still think about really frequently, which was in the Minnesota Crimes first live episode.
Yeah.
That you guys did.
The hanging?
The hanging that got horribly botched. It was the last time that there was capital punishment in Minnesota because there were witness accounts that were so horrific. Yep. They were like, here's the reality of what this looked like.
We cannot, it's inhumane. We cannot do this to people.
And like, it's I hope this can be a moment like that, because what a terrible,
Well, it's getting a lot of media publicity, which doesn't...
It's good.
It's good.
It should.
It doesn't mean that it's gonna change, but
that kind of public pressure and backlash and outrage has an impact.
Well,
so
also,
like if you're listening to this and this is affecting you should
like
write
do something about it.
Yeah.
I mean, this is like what your show has the power to actually do, is like move people to action. Don't just like passively consume, salacious content. Like, what does
you
it
can
drive
contact
you to
your
do?
representatives about this exact case and be like, you need to fucking make a fuss about this.
Particularly in Alabama, because this is not the first time in Alabama that like executions of felons has been
gone so
really
horribly
fucked
wrong.
Up.
Yeah.
So this article goes on to say, the lawsuit argues the problematic execution came in a state that already had a, quote, bad track record of botched executions.
That is sick. Oh,
Alabama
God.
Governor Kay Ivey in 2022 ordered an internal review of how death sentences are carried out after an unprecedented third failed lethal injection.
No.
Oh my God.
So I Googled this because I remembered hearing about it like at the time. I'm not sure what happened with the first two, but the third guy who was supposed to be executed by a lethal injection had like a last minute stay of execution from the governor, I guess, of like the efficacy of the execution itself. And like, but it was at the last minute, and like during that weird interim of like lawyers talking to each other and like, are we killing him? Are we not killing him?
This is real life. This is wild.
But there were like medical professionals like injecting him with this whatever the medicine was to kill him, like kind of like a bunch and like in the muscles, and like it was painful for him. It was very prolonged, and like I'm also, again, not saying that these people are perfect, and like I don't know what the terms were that they were being like executed under, but like
it doesn't matter. This is inhumane. Period.
It's inhumane. Yeah,
there is no thing that happens to you that should allow you to do something horrible to somebody else.
Yeah.
Like that's the logic I have anyway.
Mm-hmm.
And so the idea that we have like a state sanctioned
Yep.
thing to be like,
System.
and now you get this and that way, like, yeah,
Mm-hmm.
the ultimate punishment. That's just
when
ridiculous.
our judicial system is so flawed that it's like not unreasonable to wrongfully convict someone and sentence them to death.
Yeah.
Like that happens too.
Yeah.
It's not fucking worth it, man. We make too many fucking mistakes.
Yeah. It's just
I haven't made a single mistake my entire
Ever
life,
in your life,
personally.
Right. But we're not in charge of this stuff, so
Yeah.
us. We're besides, us excuse.
Right,
yeah.
Yep.
we're perfect, but
Yeah.
So Alabama Attorney General Steve Marshall has maintained that the execution was, quote, textbook, and said the state will seek to carry out more death sentences using nitrogen gas. So the state AG is like, no, this is exactly how it was supposed to work.
It's an election year.
yeah,
Exactly.
that's probably exactly right. Like we don't give a shit that
Yeah.
Quote,
that a convicted murderer is suffering
this
in
will
death.
play well to suburbia or whatever.
Yeah.
So I'll do whatever. Yeah, I mean,
you're safer
My
because of
constituency
it.
doesn't fucking care. Yeah.
Yep.
They're off the streets.
Quote, as of last night, nitrogen hypoxia as a means of execution is no longer an untested method. It is a proven one. He
Because
said
we're using
the
inmates
morning-
as fucking human science rats.
he said the morning after Smith's execution, extending an offer of help for states considering adopting the method.
Ugh.
Alabama Corrections Commissioner John Q. Ham said he thought Smith might have deliberately held his breath, so like delaying the delivery of the gas, and that's why he suffered so much.
it was his fault.
Yeah.
It was his fault. But also said the state expected involuntary movements and the type of breathing that occurs with lack of oxygen.
Great.
Ham said, quote, this was all expected and was in the side effects that we've seen or researched on nitrogen hypoxia. And those details that I found were in a different article from USA Today. And this was written by spiritual advisor Reverend Jeff Hood.
Mhm.
He witnessed the execution. He was Smith's like spiritual advisor, whatever.
Mhm.
And this was the part that really disturbed me because it was an in-depth kind of description of Smith's death, and it was disturbing. And that's, I'm not going to read it, but it was like pretty much it's pretty much what you would kind of envision from all this.
Ugh.
I mean, I'll bet part of what was disturbing was it wasn't quite what you expected, right?
Well, I think it lasted a long time, and it was very physiologically active. Like you'd think like, oh, someone's suffocating. They're just kind of like still and struggling. But no, this was like a very active, prolonged, excruciating death.
Oh.
So Jeff Hood says, quote, taking off my glasses, I sobbed. I had never felt so far away from God. I prayed that God would forgive me. I was doing the best that I could. It wasn't.
That is heartbreaking.
It wasn't just the death of a man. It was death to any idea that there could be anything humane about executing a person.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
That's really fucking powerful shit.
Wow.
I know. So,
I mean, yeah. Same about allowing genocide, but whatever.
Yeah.
Not whatever. Also take action on that. Thank you.
I've personally had conflicting views about the death penalty in the past, but like, I think that if you wanted to have a humane, justified track record of delivering justice, the death penalty cannot be part of it.
Right.
There's just no way.
And even if we were to make it totally palatable, even if it looked like a lovely cotton candy, like fall asleep moment,
Mm-hmm.
still like the fact of its horror is like not made any less real.
Yeah.
Yeah. So this is horrific, and I'm like, sorry and thank you for going into the detail that I can't allow myself because it's still winter and I have like 6 weeks of good mental health
I'm
in the
not gonna
entire
put that
year.
on
I'll
you
get
right
in
now.
August. Yeah.
Yeah.
But I think like, yeah, it's the utility of it is still valued.
Mhm.
There's still something that can be done. Like tomorrow's a new day.
Mhm.
It can be the one time that this ever happened is the possibility that stands in front of us.
Right.
Yeah, it's fucking nasty. And like you can intellectualize and be sciencey about the whole thing and be like, oh, it should have just taken seconds. And in theory, it does XYZ, and on paper in
That's
black and
not
white
what
it does
fucking
this.
happened.
But like that's not what happens. And if it takes the people seeing it to be like, oh my God, this is a state sanctioned murder. This is awful.
Torture is what it is.
One type of state-sanctioned murder.
Yeah.
And also, I mean, there are going to be people who are like, well, what did they do? Like, did they deserve it? Like, A, who are you to decide? And B,
Right.
what are the odds that somebody is wrongfully convicted of this? And we know that chance is higher with people of color. The fact that there's a 1% chance at the minimum that this happens to innocent people, is that
should
not
take
enough?
the option off the table.
Yeah.
If it could happen to literally one person, then it shouldn't be allowed.
Yeah. So
I heard you say, somebody said like contact your legislator. Is that like a thing to take action on?
I mean,
certainly in Alabama.
If this happened in Alabama, I would highly encourage any Alabama listeners to absolutely contact their legislators. But I think that anyone living anywhere can share this information and make a fuss about this. Because obviously, like, even if you're not a constituent of Alabama, the court of public opinion is a powerful one.
Yeah.
And
also,
I would imagine a lot of
say?
people don't know that this recently happened.
Oklahoma,
I didn't know.
Oklahoma and Missouri, Mississippi. What did I say? Oklahoma, Mississippi, Alabama is where the nitrogen gas is an option. But I mean, really, this pertains to the death penalty in any state where that's legal.
Yeah.
But just because they currently have access to this method doesn't mean that anywhere with the death penalty couldn't gain access to this method if a stink is not fucking raised about this.
Don't get me
situation.
started on the electric chair.
Ugh.
Oh, yeah.
Not that that's legal anywhere anymore, but like.
But it was for a long time.
I actually think it is.
Not even that. People thought it was morally okay. You know, like
they
at one point we thought lots
death.
of things are morally okay.
Yeah.
And those things change. Well, even if you're not even if you don't have legislators if you're not a constituent of a specific area where this is happening, federal law is what will, do this. So it's, if however many percent of every legislature is like, let's not do this.
Right.
It could override it. So
yeah, your
if you're
emails
passionate,
and your
do something
calls
about it.
are impactful. Yeah.
Totally.
And they fucking matter because they have to keep a record of that complaint or that concern. And those concerns pile up.
Yep.
They sure do.
You got the power. You got the power.
Indeed.
I got the power. Okay.
Oh my God.
So that was your new fear, I suppose.
Great.
The rest of them aren't that scary for like any particular individual, but so moving on, this next article was sent in by Sarah. This is from MSN. I'm not going to read you the headline because it gives away the lead, but so does the first sentence. So here we go. A month after he was filmed giving a glowing eulogy at his grandfather's funeral, a Florida man was put behind bars for shooting him dead.
Oh, wow.
The killer was the eulogizer?
Yes, ma'am.
Oh, the
Coming
drama
from inside
of it
the
all.
house.
Joshua Nareau, age 23, extolled his grandfather, James Corey, age 71, at the time of his death, to a room of mourners on January 7th of this year. So this was part of his eulogy. Jim, I called him Grampy. By blood, he was my grandfather. As a person, he was my father. He helped raise me. He made me the person I am today. You are all here because you knew and loved my grandfather, and I thank you so much for that. My goal in life is to be as good as this man was. He helped everyone in this room in some way, and I know that. But by that point, according to a press release from the Charlotte County Sheriff's Department, police considered Nero a suspect in Corey's December 28th death.
Oh.
So the grandfather died on December 28th. The funeral was held on January 7th. And on February 15th, Nero was arrested on second-degree murder charges and sent to Charlotte County Jail without bail, according to the department.
Damn.
But so they don't know that he's done it. He's just arrested in relationship to it?
We'll get to it.
Sounds like it's going to happen.
Oh, God.
A probable cause statement obtained by Law and Crime shows that forensic testing tied Nero's rifle to evidence found at the scene of Corey's death.
Mm-hmm.
So the grandson
Probably
had a rifle.
Ballistics.
The ballistics. We'll get to the ballistics. Quote, I am glad to finally be able to bring an update to you on this terrible incident. As you can see, even though we were not able to share much with you, my detectives and forensics team did a great job, and we had a direction for the investigation and ultimately got the person responsible, said Sheriff Bill Prummel. Quote, this does not make it any easier for the family of the victim, who now have even more grief to cope with, but I hope it brings peace of mind to the community once more. Please pray for Mr. Corey's family as they navigate this unthinkable situation.
Do we have a motive that's been released or no?
Well,
I want to know, like, the T. Why are we killing Grampy?
We're getting to it.
Okay.
I was like, because the eulogy is like he aspires to be like his grandfather. Like,
exactly. What? Well, that was probably a little bit of overkill too. After Corey, Grandpa Corey, was shot around 5:15 a.m. on December 28th, and his wife called police to the South Gulf Cove community, officers could only immediately determine that a rifle had been used to kill him and that there were no known witnesses and no security cameras. The 71-year-old had been shot through the chest and had a weapon of his own strapped to his hip, according to a probable cause statement obtained by Law and Crime. Mm-hmm. His wife, Linda, told police that she heard a gunshot and saw him fall to the ground after she gave her husband a kiss and saw him out the door.
Oh, my God.
So it sounds like he was, like, leaving for work.
Yeah.
And she kissed him goodbye. He walked out the door, and then he was shot in the chest with a rifle.
Oh my God.
Detectives found Nero, the grandson, sitting in the grass near the crime scene. He told detectives that he'd been sleeping when his grandmother called and told him his grandfather had been shot, and he ran over to the property as soon as he got dressed.
So we're supposed to believe he was sleeping in the grass?
No, he lived like a couple blocks away.
Okay.
And it's Florida, so there's like lots of gunshots.
Exactly.
I suppose.
But over the course of a 7-week investigation, detectives learned that Nero played a more active role in Corey's death than he initially let on. A later review of Nero's phone data confirmed that he'd walked from his grandparents' home to his own home, but also that he'd walked several hundred meters around the time of the shooting, approximately the distance from his own home to his grandparents' home and back again. So he lived 300 meters away from his grandparents'
he's walking back and forth from the properties at the time of the shooting.
According to his
like an Apple Watch or something?
Just to his cell phone pings and whatever.
Oh,
yeah, I mean, we all have GPS services on our phones. All of that shit is trackable if you don't turn that shit off.
Yeah, so it sounds like he walked from his house to his grandparents' house, back to his house, and then back to his grandparents' house.
So
there's nothing that I hate more than like sitting down, realizing I forgot something, had to go back, then going back, and then realizing I forgot another thing.
For real, especially when
that thing you forgot is to shoot your grandpa.
Yeah.
Kill him in cold blood.
Well, he went over.
I was going to do that.
He went over, shot
ADHD.
him. He went over, shot him, went back home, got the call from his grandma, went back to his grandparents' house.
Oh my God.
That's so much movement.
When he was questioned,
I can't.
I know, right? That's too much walking. That's like all of your steps before
you get your
6
steps in.
a.m.
Ew.
When questioned, Nero simply said he, quote, didn't know why his data would indicate the extra mileage.
Okay. I'm telling you, baby, it's not mine.
A projectile was found in a pine tree on the south side of Corey's home in the direction of his grandson's house. An analysis of the projectile showed that it could have belonged to a Savage, the brand name is Savage, bolt-action rifle, which detectives said that Nero owns. Forensic testing of Nero's rifle shows that it was the source of the projectile on February 14th, giving detectives the evidence they need to make an arrest, according to the document. Charlotte County records also show that Nero was jailed for several hours on January 11th, so like 2 weeks after
Right
the
after.
shooting.
Not even 2 weeks. Wasn't he killed on the 7th?
He was killed on December 28th.
Oh, the service was the 7th. Okay. That's right.
Yes. So the grandson was put in jail for driving with his license revoked, but he was released after paying a fine of $150. So for a little while, they had their guy in jail.
Yeah, but yeah, they hadn't connected those dots yet.
Exactly.
$150? That doesn't seem like very much for driving without a license.
It's a non-violent crime.
Yeah.
I guess, yeah, if you like forgot your license, that's one thing. Yeah,
and
anyway.
most of those fucking quote-unquote crimes are just to get money in the way of fines anyway, so.
Yeah. So as of now, we're still waiting on the court hearings for his first appearance for killing his grandpa, but
Yikes.
I just thought it was crazy that he gave a very nice eulogy for somebody who he fucking
Killed.
Murdered.
Who do you think knew that that's like, who like was the grandma sitting there like just boiling watching him do this? Like who, like with the investigators in the back being like, we'll get you. I want to know what paint me a picture of that scene. That sounds like really interesting.
Maybe the grandma hired him.
That could be the plot
deep.
twist of the century, dude.
Yeah. This is all wild speculation, but
any of you listening to this right now won't be on the jury, so just speculate.
Yeah, I can't.
Why not?
That would be too much. But yeah, we're gonna have to set some Google alerts for this bad boy.
We're setting our Googs.
Set your Goog.
Okay, so last but not least, a bunch of people sent this one in to me, including Sean Bob, Alicia, Clarissa, Casey, Kat from Crime Chat Podcast, Nicole, Jessica, Candace, Kelsey, Elise, Amber, Alexandra, Tiffany, and Emily.
Oh my God, this sounds like a bridal party and I'm living for it.
Mm-hmm.
A very big bridal party. Okay. Linda Lernell Smith Stoll was born on October 1st, 1951, welcomed to the world by loving parents who preceded her in death. In February of 1969, she gave birth to her first child, Gail Harvey Heckman. Lernell deceived her first husband, Roderick Allen Harvey, into believing that he was her first child's biological father.
Ooh. This is in the obit?
Yep. This is the obit.
Shit.
They
I love it.
They married and divorced when Gail was 3 years old. Gail, by the way, is the person who wrote this obituary.
The daughter. The surviving daughter.
The first daughter, yep.
She's got feelings about this. Okay.
Yeah,
she sure does, babe. We'll get to it.
I love when an obit is clearly a cathartic
It's
exercise.
got a point of view, yeah.
Yep. Yeah, she let a lot out in this. They married and divorced when Gail was 3 years old. Lernell then had Gail adopted by her second husband, Frank Randall Cullum. They divorced after a decade of marriage. Gail never heard from Frank again. Lernell's third husband, James Floyd Hart, sexually abused Gail when she was 13.
Oh my God.
Instead of protecting her daughter, Lernell accused Gail of, quote, trying to steal her husband and proceeded to beat her senselessly. After another divorce, Lernal acquired her fourth husband through the unofficial or illegible word-of-mouth inmate-run Jackson State Prison Pen Pal program. In between and during her marriages, there were a variety of unsavory men in and out of our home.
Ooh,
As a
Lord.
mother, Lernal was violent, hateful, and cruel. She was physically, mentally, emotionally, verbally, and financially abused Gail.
Lernal
abusive towards Gail. Lernal allowed for her many inappropriate suitors to sexually abuse Gail. Lernal's abuse continued into Gail's adulthood, attempting to physically, verbally, emotionally, and mentally abuse her in front of her children.
Oof.
Gail had to establish a no-contact order to protect herself and her family. That was 24 years ago.
Good job, Gail. Set those boundaries, babe. Protect yourself and your family.
In March of 2023, Gail unexpectedly found out who her biological father was through a popular online DNA service. After years of deception from Lernal regarding who Gail's father was, Gail and her family are navigating the waters of getting to know their paternal biological family. This is it. Lernal will never be the mother and grandmother that she could have chosen to be to her family. That door is closed forever with her death. That is what Gail and her family grieve, who their mother and grandmother could have been. While they are afraid that Gail, her husband, and their 4 children cannot share their grief, their heartache lies with Lernal's brothers and sisters, their aunts, uncles, and cousins, as they grieve the death of a complicated family member whom they love very much. Lernal passed away December 12th, 2023 in Three Rivers, Michigan, and will now face judgment.
Yeah.
Gail and her family forgive Lernal and hope that she has found peace. They also hope to find peace within themselves. Lernal will not be missed by Gail or her family. They all understand that the world is a much better place without her.
Wow.
What an act of truth-telling that
Seriously.
ultimately is very loving.
Good for fucking Gail.
Like generations of trauma that could have been obscured.
Keeping.
Yeah, exactly. Be lifted like that.
Yes.
That's what love looks like.
So much of trauma too is just like keeping the secrets of our loved ones that harmed us.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
And sometimes if you have the strength to release those secrets and be a truth teller, like you just said, this can be so fucking powerful. Like, we do not owe predators protection because of their death. Mm-hmm. We just don't. Holy shit. So that's badass.
I have a little bit more to share from a different article. So this tribute quickly went viral on X, formerly known as Twitter, LOL, after a stunned reader posted a photo of it online. Given the reaction, the initial publisher, the Wilcox, Michigan newspaper, removed it from its website and published an apology claiming it, quote, was allowed through simply because it was submitted via the website and processed automatically. So,
pussies.
Annoyed by that move by the newspaper, Gail has responded that her truth, quote, isn't fake, but that the newspaper has made its stance clear. And then Gail says, quote, well, honestly, I wanted to write it for myself because I wanted to clear my name. For 24 years and before that, my mother has had to come up with a reason as to why her daughter isn't in her life that doesn't make her look like a monster. I had to reclaim my name.
Oh, Gail, I wish you so much peace and healing. You fucking earned it.
So thanks for showing us the way on how it can be done too. And how to subvert like platforms like that to be like, oh, we just assume all obituaries are true. What if that's come into question? And like, good luck moderating all that.
Right. The part that kind of like struck me the most that was like, well, her family had to deal with this, and this. and who loves her very much. And that kind of just sort of it brings to the surface the fact that you can have so many complicated feelings, and complicated is probably a very casual word for what these people are feeling. But that love is still in there somewhere for whatever reason. And it's not something that you can help, and it's not something you can control, but
well, and Gail is still humanizing her mother by holding both realities, that she was deeply harmed by this person and that her mother was still loved by her family. And maybe, you know, Gail doesn't owe her or have that love for her anymore, but that there are people survived by this woman who do love her. Despite it all, in their own complicated way. And that's kind of a beautiful thing in and of itself.
That's what life kind of is.
I think there's this idea that obituaries are like written for the person who's passed, but like it's written for the people who are still living. So like, what can you use that platform for?
Well, and we, especially in the West, have like such a fucked up relationship with death. And we, you know, I think in lots of cultures, you idolize the dead.
You have to paint them in the best light, like the best thing they've ever done. Right.
Just because they're dead. And like, that's not fair or real. And then we're just, the living are just supposed to quietly hold the complexities of the trauma left behind by the people who have passed and paint them as a saint because they're dead. Like, what else did they fucking do to deserve that sainthood other than just die? Nothing.
Especially if you were so harmful.
It's not realistic.
Especially if you're so harmful for all these people around you, like your fucking daughter. You know, you've gone through 4 husbands, like, and I don't think that anybody deserves to be painted as either good or bad. So yeah, it's important to.
And there's like also a cultural element. I just know that like for white people, it's like we have much, especially like white queer people are more like, fuck you, mom and dad. Like, I don't need you in my life. But like when you're, you know, from a like non-white culture, to have access to your heritage and your infrastructure, social infrastructure and all that is more critical. So I also just say that like with an understanding that white people are more able to be like, fuck you. So, but there's still elements there that I think are hopefully valuable about truth telling, because I think a lot of things get not told in all families.
It's an honor to help hold some of this trauma and truth for Gail. That's all I'm going to say.
And clearly it resonated.
Yeah.
Wow. That's some powerful shit.
Well,
what an episode, man. Fuck.
We went from
all the poops and peas
to family
exactly.
Poops and peas, chasing a pig around.
Oh, the pig.
Pringles.
The coroner corner of being some of the most traumatic shit of all time.
That was pretty bad.
Nitrogen gas execution.
No.
I would not have read an article this in depth though, so I think I would listen to a comedy podcast about it though.
Yeah.
So this is the value. Like never say that again. That for some reason scared me more than anything I've ever heard.
Okay.
No.
Stop your Pee-wee laugh. I hate it.
Now I'm gonna remember my nightmares.
No.
All right.
Lucy.
Well, I'll be the tall man in your sleep, or whoever he is. The
Pale
skinny
man.
Pale man.
Candy man.
Beak out.
Oh, thanks.
All right. I gotta go. Thanks for listening.
Yep.
We'll see you next month. Thank you, Scott.
Love you. Love you, Scott.
Love you.